Hey folks, before we get started with this video, I just want to do a quick life update. My girlfriend's cat isn't doing particularly well right now. He's ended up at the vet a bunch of times, and we think he has pancreatitis right now. We're not 100% sure, but we think that's what's up. So I'm going to plug my girlfriend's side hustle today in hopes of, raising some money for our good cat friend Midnight. She does clothing reselling on this site called Poshmark. Essentially, she goes thrifting, buys clothes, like name brand stuff, and then resells them on this site for a discount. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, this will be the top thing in my video description every day this week. Consider checking it out, or if you have any female friends who are into clothing, maybe pass it their way. Or if you're interested to supporting the cause, but you're not really interested in clothes, you can use my usual donation information to throw some support that way. Just, make sure it's clear that it's for the cat or vet bills or something for tax purposes. All right, let's get on with the show. Hey folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another legacy video. Today's video is sponsored by Tony P, who pulled a deck list created by the Dreamstalker from Reddit. Uh, this is kind of a wild deck, and this is probably going to be a longer deck, just FYI. So they've called this one Shifty Dwarves or BUG Dwarves, and I don't know exactly where to start. So this is largely a changeling slash dwarf tribal deck. There's a few different things you can do to win the game. Number one, you play a changeling on turn one. And then on turn two, you can play a valiant changeling, which costs one less for each creature type among creature types you control. So this can be a 2-mana 3/3 double striker as long as you play one of either Universal Automaton or Mothling Changeling on turn one. That's a pretty good rate for a creature. Compare that to something like a Mirran Crusader, which is a 2/2 double striker for 3. Number two, you can get a Valiant Changeling into play and then use Pyre of Heroes to go and search up a Platinum Empyrean, and your life total can't change, and if you're playing against something like a blue-red Delver deck, that probably just instantly wins the game on the spot. Otherwise, this can act as sort of a weird birthing pod, allowing you to assemble some of this stuff. Number three, you can use Magda, create 5 treasure tokens by tapping your dwarves, okay, and then sacrifice those treasure tokens to end up with the Platinum Imperium in play. Number 4, you can use Dwarven Recruiter to search your library for any number of dwarf cards, reveal them, and put them on top. And by dwarves, I really mean changeling insects, okay? Because Grist says, on its plus ability, plus create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token, then mill a card. If an insect was milled this way, put a loyalty counter on it and repeat the process. So you go and put, all of your changelings on top of your library, and then you plus Grist, and all of a sudden you create a bajillion insects. And then on the following turn, you can -5 and do each opponent loses life equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So this is the deck. I did not touch the main deck at all. I made a few minimal changes to the sideboard that was submitted. I thought we might want a little bit of removal, so I added in a few spatial contortions. The mana base for this deck is super weird because we're playing a bunch of lands that are rainbow lands sometimes, such as Alley Encampment. Add 1 mana of any color, spend this only to cast an ally spell. And the same thing is true for this that casts dragons, or this that names a creature type and then casts it. So our mana is a little bit wonky. I'm also going to try out Steely Resolve. I'm unsure if we have quite enough green mana to make this work in the deck, but I'm hoping between the mana confluences, the reflecting pools, the city of brasses, and most importantly the Magdas here, that occasionally I can cast this. And if I do, and all this stuff all of a sudden has Shroud, it'll be strong. Actually, is it good enough? I just give my slivers shroud? It wouldn't help Magda. Maybe okay. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna before that matches actually start, I think I'm gonna make these into crystalline slivers. I wonder if I can make that work and that'll be better. I like this idea of protecting my stuff and giving it shroud. It's kind of important to protect Magda and Platinum Empyrean. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a split. I'll let you know if I make any changes before I actually start playing the matches. Yeah, this is kind of a crazy deck. It attacks from a bunch of different angles, a lot of which overlap slightly. I don't even know what that word was. Overlap slightly. So I'm pretty excited to see this in action. It is some beautiful jank, and there's some interesting tribal synergies going on here, because we also have a cat lord that will let us blow up artifacts and enchantments. We also have Realm Walker that will let us cast our various changelings off the top of our library. Okay, we'll kind of see how this goes. This is gonna be a pretty crazy league one way or another. I received 2 donations for this deck within like 24 hours of this deck being posted. So that was my sign that I should bump this to the top of the queue because people are excited about it. Anyway, if you're new here, please consider subscribing for legacy, modern, and vintage content 5 days a week. If you're a regular, throw me a like before we get started. It's the easiest way to support my content for free. If you're interested in supporting the channel in another way or playing this deck list, that information is available in the video description as well. Let's battle. Okay, I need a second land here. If I get a second land, this hand is super dope because I go Moth Dust Changeling into Magda, and then I can, like, have a turn 3 big idiot. But without extra mana, especially in a Wasteland format, I think I need to mulligan this hand. Oh, geez, this is a bad one. So this has Valiant Changeling, but no Changeling that I can use to start playing it. It also has an Ether Vial without extra creatures. We're going to 5, unfortunately, for the first game. And this hand also is pretty terrible, but at this point, I think we're keeping it. I guess I'm throwing back 2 lands. I don't know the mana base of this deck well enough to know like which ones I should keep here with 100% certainty. I'll just like do this and name Dwarf. It's kind of unfortunate. Our first hand was like so close to working, and we just weren't quite there. We've got an awful lot of nothing going on. Okay. Yep. Cool. All right, let's play our quote unquote dwarf and probably lose game 1, honestly. We draw like another land. I just don't realistically seeing us ending up in the situation where we can damage. Oh, well, we'll take that. We'll absolutely take that. We just got a free sinkhole off of Unsettled Mariner. Sick. All right. You're a dwarf. You're an uncounterable dwarf. Yeah, there's now a chance that I might win this because my opponent sinkholed themselves. Yeah, like this is also a lord, so like our clock got increased as well. I've got 5 mana and nothing to do with it though, which is a problem. Yeah, just cast those cantrips. And if my opponent has like lightning bolts and stuff, they can't really super use them right now, without it costing them basically their entire turn. I'm super happy to see that punt from my opponent. I needed something like that. All right, what do you have? A Ragavan. Not the best for me. I guess I can attack in with the Unsettled Mariner if my opponent wants to trade. I'm good with that. Would my opponent trade? I have literally no idea how my opponent values my weird deck right now. I could also just attack with both. Try to like put my opponents on the rope here a little bit. Try to work towards these treasures. My opponent trades with Magda. I bring it back. Yeah, let's do that. I get 2 treasures here. Okay, they're trading with the Changeling. That's fine. I'll play the Haven of the Spirit Dragon. Return this to my hand. All right. I'll replay it, and I will go ahead and use a treasure to do that because my opponent valued taking this off the battlefield pretty highly. Okay, sure. All right. Yeah, that's fine. That means that they now can't like lightning bolt me in this turn cycle. Sure. Yeah, I guess we're just using these for mana fixing right now. This will be a black, colorless, a green. Yeah, I can take the damage from that. Okay, my opponent does have force and Narset. I guess I'll bash in again. I'm probably not supposed to play super conservatively here. My opponent like wants to trade with this again. I'm totally good with it. That's the one that they wanted to get rid of last turn. Okay, iteration is fine. Iteration is not taking this off the table. A young pyromancer in the exile zone. All right, so they're not casting that. So if this resolves, I just get big dumb idiot. So let's tap this. Am I supposed to play this around a stifle? I don't know that I will have the possibility to. I'll do it at end step. I would like my opponent to spend mana first, if at all possible. Okay. I mean, that's big. 8/8 is a sort of annoying size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will grab that Platinum Empyrean. And then I assume that like I'll be able to grind my opponent out somehow from here. Most of the time at least. Do I want to try to trade Platinum Empyrean for Murktide Regent? Because I probably get to do it. Like I can attack with all three of these, and that prompts a block on Platinum Empyrean. We'll take 4. Sure. We'll send those in. Alright, that's fine. I don't know if this is how I'm supposed to play that, but it's probably fine. Like, I can just get a 3/3 double striker, like, every other turn from here by sacrificing these treasures. I think that'll probably be good enough to beat my opponent most of the time. Okay, yeah, good stuff. I'm not super good at answering Murktide Regent, but I do have a lot of other stuff that I can board in. Like, namely this stuff here is potentially pretty strong. Little adjustments here. What is not good? I don't feel like I super need Feline Sovereign. Realm Walker is a little slow. Masked Vandal doesn't really seem necessary. And I'll probably keep the rest of the stuff, so that's 4 cards that I want to board in. I will play the Spatial Contortions. Like, this is kind of why I put them in the deck in the first place. And then, I suppose I'll go with Plague Engineers. They just go and deal with some of the smaller creatures like Ragavan. Yeah, let's give this a go. Okay, we have a Pyre of Heroes and an Aether Vial. The Pyre of Heroes is going to be kind of whatever without more creatures here. I don't know that this hand is actually a keep. It's not bad, but it needs other stuff. I think I'm gonna get more aggressive in this mulligan. This is a much better hand. I'm gonna keep this. And now it's the question of like, do I want to pitch this Plague Engineer? Because it's like the thing that fits into my plan the least. Probably, honestly. Which is weird. Because like that's one of my sideboard cards, and theoretically I think it's good. Okay. So let's see if I could have considered playing City of Brass there. So that I could have a chance at playing the Changeling Super Boss on turn 2 if I draw another colored source of mana. Okay. The Ponder or something. Oh, an EE. Okay, that's a little annoying for me. I'll yield to that. Okay, this isn't bad for me. So I'm punished for not playing City of Brass on 1, because otherwise I could play a Valorant Changeling this turn. Unfortunate. So assuming my Aether Vial dies next turn, I should probably just cast my spells. Which is unfortunate, because I am not going to be playing around a Daze, and I'm also taking some damage in order to do this. Alright. Am I just eating a removal spell here? Oh, straight up Hydroblast. Sure. Alright, EE pop immediately? Yep, okay, that's fine. Yep, okay. Well, this sure isn't going to produce blue mana. That's rough. Might end up just kind of flopping around and dying this game. We'll see, though. I didn't have particularly high hopes for last game either, and we pulled that together pretty well. Ponder off expressive iteration. Sure. So, just tiny mistake on my end. I should have tapped the reflecting pool for colorless mana last turn so that I could have held up the Swarm Yard. Just little things. Again, I don't think my opponent is going to use like a lightning bolt on a just generic 1/1, but you know, it is something that could occur. If this resolves, I can't really do a lot with it right now. Like I could turn, oh god. Yeah, we're super dead this game. We can turn this into a Magda or something, but I'm having serious mana issues right now. Alright. You're just gonna play like a Murktide and end me? Because you're waiting to pay costs, so that's probably what that means. Oh, that's a gut shot on my my little changeling there. And then it's gonna be a Murktide, so they can make it one bigger. Okay, I believe I'm just conceding to that if I don't draw a land. I mean, even with this land, I don't know that that's good enough. Because this can't cast Grist the following turn? Yeah. Let's throw in the towel there. Yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to play, like, ley lines or anything for Murktide. Murktide is just a problem. I know about Gutshot. Do I want Feline Sovereign back in the deck? A little bit. Yeah, maybe I make, like, this swap and just keep the generic Lord in there. Okay, what does this hand do? This hand has a turn 2 3/3 double striker. I will probably keep this hand. I also kind of think that I want to take 1 damage on turn 1 so that I can keep my Cavern for when I can cast this uncounterably. I think that's worth it. Alright, so let's do this thing. I don't think would eat a counter spell. And like, if this land gets wastelanded, it's not that big of a deal. I just don't want this one to get wastelanded. Okay, good play, Phil. Good play. Oh, yeah. Here's a little love tap. Now, a second wasteland would be pretty rough. Nice. Not second wasteland. Alright, so let's name a dwarf here. Go, yeah. And I do think I want to do this pre-combat. A 7-drop for 2 mana is pretty cool. And then we'll go ahead and get in the red zone for 1 point of damage. And we'll see if my opponent has a lightning bolt for this. I have another one if they do. Oh, they don't. Nice. I mean, it could still be Swords of Plowshares, but a prismatic ending is not necessarily going to do it. You stop that. Okay. I mean, I'll try to hit for 7. My opponent didn't have the lightning bolt in the last turn cycle, so it had to have been their draw. Alright, it was not their draw. And I'll just play another 1/1. This will clock my opponent pretty quickly, and when I have another mana, I do have some quite good plays. Okay. So we'll name Dwarf with that. Do I want to play a pre-combat Magna? I get 3 treasures. I don't hate it. I also don't hate just playing another 3/3 double striker after combat, though. Oh, this adds a lot of damage this turn. Let's go for it. Okay, a Hydroblast has occurred. And it sort of feels like a Swords of Plowshares now. Yep. Okay, so I'll crash in for 2, put my opponent to 8, and then I'll play another Changeling next turn. What do you have for me? Okay. I have a Spatial Contortion for that. Hopefully this works, because if it doesn't, I am in a shit ton of trouble. Nice. Send it in, opponent goes to 5. I have another removal spell to force damage through, and I also have a 3/3 double striker waiting. I don't mind this at all. Okay, that's fine. That's not immediately impacting the board. Okay, Flooded Strand, so they make their land drop. Oh, that's annoying. But this still allows me to play this turn, which is good. Opponent hasn't had counter spells the last couple of times. So this puts my opponent to 3. So my Valiant Changeling is lethal next turn. I need to dodge a removal spell here. Ah, shit, I didn't. Okay, I hope my opponent doesn't just like stabilize at 2 and turn this one around. That would super suck for me. It sure looks like they're stabilizing at 2. The Ragavan gets in there, makes a treasure. I'm gonna lose my changelings. My opponent will bounce their Ragavan at end step and then blow up my 2 changelings. Alright, they're at 1. Okay. That's no shuffle as well. This is super unfortunate. I do not have the ability to cast these Grists, even though I have 3 mana. Rough. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I just fucked up. Did I cast a Grist uncounterably off of Cavern of Souls? Legendary creature planeswalker Grist. Shit, I could have... I could have cast a Grist. Shit. That's an interaction I didn't know. I figured it out, but I figured it out half a second too late. Oh, that's super unfortunate. I might have punted this one. Although, honestly, I probably wouldn't have played the Grist in this turn cycle anyway to do this and stop this Ragavan. But, like, now I lose out on the ability to cast the Grist this turn. That was a huge fuck up. I'm not used to thinking about Cavern of Souls on my Planeswalker. They lovey. Okay, sure. Alright. I mean, every creature from here is potentially a lethal threat. So as soon as my opponent doesn't have a removal spell or a blocker, I win. Okay, sure. So now we're in the top deck war. Okay, that's pretty good in the top deck war. Ponder, sure. And that's no shuffle. Okay, this is good for me. Alright, so let's go black, green. Did I do that wrong? Black, green, 1. Alright, so there's Grist. Grist resolves. I make my insect, which is, notably, a lethal threat. I have also made a second insect here, because I milled an insect, which was another Grist. So now my opponent's spot removal is no longer good enough for a win. Blocker is also no longer good enough for a win. Alright, there's a Brainstorm. And an Expressive Iteration, sure. Notably, opponent's fetch lands are off. So if they do cast that Brainstorm, they may end up Brainstorm locking themselves. Another Expressive Iteration. And they are going to cast it. We must go deeper. Okay, Prismatic Ending. That can answer an insect. Seems like this is a Murktide. It is. So I can just try to kill my opponent, or I can do the really cool thing. I should probably just do the really cool thing just for the sake of doing it, right? Yeah, I don't know how my opponent beats an Insect Swarm. This is uncounterable. Alright. So we're gonna search for all of my changelings. Alright. Changeling, 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 changeling. Okay, and my opponent has conceded the match. So I was about to just make, you know, a dozen insects, and my opponent at 1 life is not going to beat that. Holy moly. Yeah, good stuff. Alright, for round 2, we are playing against known Enchantress player, Spatula of the Ages. So last time I saw them playing, they were messing around with, I think the name of it is the Paladin class, as another way to have a finisher. So this is a Dwarf. We'll go ahead and play out one of these. So we have a start of, we have the start of what could be a strong hand. We can cheat a Platinum Empyrean into play relatively quickly, but some of my stuff might get removed. Alright. So let's go ahead and make the Magda here. And I'm just going to go ahead and make the treasures rather than attack. I just think that probably leads to me doing the most. Oh, actually, these things pay for themselves now. That's neat. I just pay them, and I immediately do this. This is fucking cool. So next turn, I'm gonna have 5 creatures that attack, and I will be able to get, like, the big overlord. Okay, this is really fun. We're gonna have to take a picture of that real quick. Okay, that was cool. Alright. Draw your cards. So we made 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12 power. Or sorry, 11 power on turn 2. Alright. What do you got? That's not bad. 5 mana. No, my Magda! No! They definitely have mana to pay for this stuff. We'll find a way. Okay, so I can play Feline Sovereign, or I can Pyre of Heroes into a new Magda. Yeah, I'll just do that. Alright, so I will go 1, 2, Pyre of Heroes playing 2. Sacrifice this. Oh wait, is Mass Vandal better? Yes, Mass Vandal is better. I'll destroy the On Thin Ice. Yes. Which returns Magda. And now I'll go 1, 2, 3. I'll attack in with my flyers. That'll be 4, 5. Okay. And now I can instant speed grab an 8, 8. I played last turn slightly suboptimally. I could have gotten 3 more damage in. So if I would have tapped flying, tapping these 2, I also could have attacked with this. Okay. So I think between the 8-8 that I'm about to get and this Lord, I probably have lethal next turn. But solitary confinement sorts of things can definitely happen. Okay. So this'll target my Magda. Oh no, it's targeting this. I guess that's fine. Alright. Okay. So now this will go after Magda. Yep, okay. So now I will sacrifice my treasures. And I'll take my 8-8. Will I? I could just get the Magda back again. No, I'll take the Platinum Empyrean. Okay. Play the cat? The cat's pretty gross here. Wait, can I cast this cat? This is Dwarf. This is Ally. This is Dragon. I can't. How does this card work? Okay, so I want to get a Magda involved. So I'll pay 2. Sacrifice this. I guess I can do the Masked Vandal thing again. So I'll Masked Vandal, destroy the cast out, pick up Magda. Now, I'll tap 1. I'll tap 2. Now I have enough treasures to play this cat. Okay, cool. Now my stuff has protection from dogs. Send these in. This is cool. Oh man, this only triggers once. Lame. Yeah. Now I'm doing cat stuff. Do I just destroy Sithis? Like, is the life gain the most important thing here? Probably. Now I'll use these 2 treasures to cast this. This is some ridiculous shit. My 5/4 double striking protection from dogs. Okay, so this is worded whenever 1 or more cats you control deal combat damage to a player, which is why I only get 1 trigger. This is going to be a crazy game. Or match, rather. Okay. I have so many lethal threats that I'm not overly concerned about this. I have lost my cat. Okay. Some redraws. Okay. That destroys my Platinum Empyrean. Okay, now there is a green sun. I get a new Sithis. Okay, and there is the Paladin class. So it makes my spells cost more. It can buff their creatures, and then can give creatures double strike. Oh, that can bounce Magda. Ooh, another On Thin Ice. Not a bad turn. But with this gone and Magda not getting in there, assuming this gets jump blocked, I only have 6 damage, so I'm not killing my opponent. Well, Pyre of the Heroes could get involved after... Oh no, this only activates as a sorcery. Arrgh. Okay. So my opponent probably does... Oh, they're getting rid of the Pyre of the Heroes instead. So I can't get another Magda. Okay. So I'll cast this. I will name Dwarf. And cast creature cards of the chosen type. So I will tap this to give this flying. Now this needs to be chump blocked. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm just turning everything sideways. I don't need to think about this. So this is 2 chump blocks. My opponent takes 3. Right, what do you got? Another paladin class, sure. A green sun. That'll be a new Sithis. Oh, it'll be a destiny spinner. Okay, my life total can't change currently. I'm not super worried about that right now. Okay, I am now slightly worried about that. Yup, there goes that. Oh, shit. That's bad. There's a very good chance that I die to a double striking critter here. So one of those paladin classes just got leveled up to 3. So the critter is going to have double strike. That is a 13/13 double striker, and I just die on the spot. Holy shit. What a game. Well played by my opponent. I was so close there. That is a lot of damage. Alright, I'm at negative 21 life. I am probably going to board minimal cards here. Probably play the Aethersworn Canonist to slow my opponent down. I don't know, though, if Steely Resolve is worth it. It definitely does stuff. I think I'm going to go down on some of, like, the... I don't think I necessarily need a combo finish. Like, I think a Grist is totally reasonable, just as something that keeps creating tokens. I guess I keep one of these. Like, Plague Engineer is whatever. A lot of this stuff is whatever. Steely Resolve is cool here, because it makes my stuff hard to remove. I don't know, maybe Grist isn't super important, and I can do something like this. Let's try this and see how it feels. This is great. This is absolutely great. I'm gonna have some options for how to play out this game. I think... No, I boarded out a couple Grists. It's probably fine to just do this. I think it's fine to go ahead and start on this into Steely Resolve and just take this game a little bit slow. Like, if my opponent can't remove my creatures, I am just in a very good position as this game goes long. Like, I will have a 3/3 double striker that they can't remove. That's totally fine. Steely Resolve! Alright. My dwarves are now safe. And, the Witch Enchantress effect my opponent has here. Sure. Oh shit, I should have responded to that by vialing in Moth Dust Changeling on the very off chance that I was about to get Collector Oofed. I didn't think that was going to happen, but I think it was just technically correct to do that. Oh, Shroudy. Yes. Oh, that's awkward. Like, it is what it is, but that's quite awkward. Alright, so let's tap this, I guess. Bash in. Take my 1 point of damage, and then I have 7 points of damage every turn after this. I think that Platinum Imperium's a little rough. Okay. The card drawing begins. Or I guess continues, rather. And I think I am more or less always going to leave this Violet, too. I'm going to take a quick look at my list. I don't always know to this. I can change my mind later. Oh yeah, that's a great draw. So I will just go ahead and send these in, and then in response to a spell on my opponent's turn, I will vial in Aethersworn Canonist. This puts my opponent to 11, and then I'll vial this in. Yes. There's Canonist, which notably is not a dwarf. So it can be removed, but not immediately. Now my opponent will funnel their mana into this Paladin class. Yep. Actually, is there a world where I'm supposed to take this Aether Vial up towards 8? Kind of crazy. I think the game's over by then. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and take my damage here. Alright, we're getting a chump block. This puts my opponent to 8. Now, I could grab the Felidor Sovereign. I could grab a Magda. I think I'm supposed to sacrifice this. I'll put this on Insect, I guess. I have 1 Grist. Yeah, okay. We'll put this on Insect. Let's go 1, 2. Sacrifice this. Oh, Mass Vandal is very good. So let's do that, and not sure which of these to take out. I'm gonna take out the Enchantress's Presence. Just without my opponent having access to a bunch more cards, I can hopefully just get over the finish line here. It's a little awkward if my opponent goes like exactly Destiny Spinner into activate. Okay. There goes Canonist. Alright, a new Enchantress's Presence. Okay. This is a little annoying here. Oh, that can get rid of my Steely Resolve. Yeah, this one might be falling apart. Yeah, maybe I should have gone for a second Canonist. This is brutal. Yeah, they needed to remove my... Oof. Yeah, they forgot to fire off the Seal of Primordium there. That is a big deal. That is maybe a game-losing mistake. I don't know that I can kill my opponent next turn, though. Okay. Alright, so I'm losing the Pyre. I'm not losing Steely Resolve, though, which is good. I can play a new Pyre and an Unsettled Mariner. I'll ship these in. See if my opponent jump blocks. They do. They take 1 and go to 9. Go ahead and put this in now. Yes. Unsettled Mariner. Fire of Heroes. I'm definitely scared. Okay, that's a new Sithis. Okay, cast out. Which I'm guessing goes after Steely Resolve. Yeah, it's going after Steely Resolve. My opponent easily has the mana to pay. And now my opponent is going to rattle off a whole bunch of life gain, which is not good for me. Removal also obviously is not great. Costs my opponent a little bit extra mana to do the stuff that they're trying to do. Probably dead next turn. I could draw a 1-drop and then play 1-drop into Pyre to kill Destiny Spinner. That's about the best I think I can do right now. Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those times where I got so close to getting over the finish line, but I'm just not quite going to get there. This is a pretty epic match, though. There is also a world where my opponent decks themselves, right? Right? We can win like that. I don't think so. Opponent's still got 17 cards in deck. They're only drawing 2 at a time. Oh, there's more. Okay, that's a lot of blockers. Yeah, I have to kill Destiny Spinner or I think I lose. All right, we'll leave Aether Violet too. I don't think I have any outs here. I'm going to activate Pyre of Heroes to see if I'm wrong. All right. Grist. Grist will do. It'll at least keep me from dying. So I'll use this to destroy Destiny Spinner. You know, this stings a little bit. But it keeps me alive. I don't think my opponent will have too much trouble killing me, though, from a defenseless board. Like, the thing here is that because of Paladin class, these creatures get +1/+1. And, oh, yeah. Alright, well, GG's. Oh, I will absolutely be keeping this hand. Okay, so this hand has turn 1 Moth Dust, turn 2, 3/3 Double Striker. Assuming that's what I want to do. I think I'll play a Moth Dust Changeling that's counterable on turn... Well, it costs me a life. It's probably fine. Alright, we'll go Dwarf and play this. And then I still have 2 Rainbow Lands so that I can cast a Grist later, even though I named Dwarf with this. Okay. Alright, so we are playing against Death and Taxes. Given that Magda can just be bounced, I think I'm just going to play Valiant Changeling here. Oh, wait, hold on. I can do both, right? Magda, tap, 2 treasures, Valiant Changeling. Yeah, I can do both. So this is whenever it becomes tapped, I'll tap this one. I'll always yield to that. Now I can go ahead and do my attacks. Crash in for 2, get a second treasure token. And now play this Changeling for 2 mana. While we're at it, let's get my treasure now. Do I want to play Ether Vial? Seems like no. Seems like next turn I'm playing Grist, and I just want to work towards 5 treasures as well. My opponent's going to have a lot of interaction versus me on various different fronts. Notably, in case you didn't notice, we are playing against traditional 60-card death and taxes, not Yorion D&T. We are hitting for 12 next turn, at least theoretically. Oh no, my Magda! No! Oh geez, another Valiant Changeling. Sick. Okay. So let's go land. Replay my Magda. Go to combat, crash in with these. Take my 2 treasures. Very nice. This is going to hit my opponent for 10. Down to 8. So I'll go ahead and play another Valiant Changeling. Now let's go ahead and tap these down, make my treasures. Same here. And I'll use 3 of these to go ahead and play Grist. We'll just push my current onboard advantage. And I'll plus with Grist. I don't think I'm going to be playing the Aether Vial this game. Nice, we got 2. These are not dwarves, so I can't get treasure from them. Magda is whenever a dwarf you control becomes tapped. Okay, so you've got a mom. Sure. The vial will tick up to 2, and my opponent would need an exceptional series of cards to stay alive. Ooh, tapping the Caracas there is a mistake. Okay, well, that's fine. Okay, so the question is, how much stuff do I want to board in? I probably want these 6 cards, and then the question after that is, like, do I want Steely Resolve? The answer is probably I can't afford to sideboard in that many cards. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play these. Despite the fact that Masked Vandal is good, I think it's going to be a little tricky to get creatures into my graveyard a lot of times to trigger it. Like, I basically have to activate a Pyre of Heroes, which is pretty slow. I want to have access to one of these, but I think I can trim the other. The Dwarven Recruiter Grist combo is pretty sweet. I don't know how consistently I'm going to be able to assemble it. Similarly, I don't know how necessary this is. So I can probably do some trimming like this. This is a lot of cards to bring in here. But I can't cut any of my 1-drops. I can't cut the Changelings. I don't think I can cut the Magdas or the Platinum Empyreans. I don't think I can cut the second Masked Vandal. Unsettled Mariner is very good against things like Wasteland and Port. Baracas to a lesser extent. Swords of Plowshares and whatnot. What does the cat do again? I probably want the cat. I can trim one of those. Maybe I'm not supposed to play all of these. I keep access to 1 Dwarven Recruiter. And then just play 1 Warping Whale. I'm not 100% sure on my sideboarding here. This is a Changeling into a Magda. That's fine as a start. Okay. Nope, no Vial, no Swords of Plowshares. Alright, let's play a Changeling. And we'll see what you can do. There's definitely some turn 2 plays that are scary, especially Stoneforge Mystic. Huh. A little surprised we kept this hand, but I guess that's fine. I'll name Dwarf here. We'll see if I immediately eat a Swords to Plowshares on one of these creatures. I find it likely. Yeah. They might have a second Swords to Plowshares. That would make sense with, like, passing with 2 mana available. Nope. Okay. They also could just have a Caracas to bounce this and get a Time Walk. Sure, that's fine. Okay. If I got a Changeling into play, I can play this next turn. I don't know if I just want to play this as a 1/3, though. Is it better to just play the cats? It's probably better to play the cat, because next turn I can play both Masked Vandal and the changeling in the same turn cycle. Yep. Go, my beautiful cat. I guess things get a little weird if I get Rashad imported, but I kind of would like to think that my opponent has something to do with their mana. Okay, up to 4 mana. Okay, Recruiter is obviously quite good. Opponent has an absolute ton of options, and probably not like a clear wrong choice. Like something like Thalia is not going to be it, but like there's Skyclaves, there's Flicker Wisps, there's Moms, there's Stone Forges. Like there's a great number of powerful plays that my opponent could take here. Okay, yeah, they're going to go for a Stone Forge, which makes my Masked Vandal a little bit more important than it was half a turn cycle ago. Okay, what a beautiful draw. So now I can go ahead and go blue, white, or Unsettled Mariner. I need to get a creature in the graveyard for Masked Vandal. Okay. Bye, cat. I will deal some damage to myself. I'll get this creature in play. My opponent's got a pretty big advantage right now, I think. If I can get something into the graveyard and destroy the piece of equipment that my opponent fetches, I'm okay. But if they just get like a Cauldra, I am in trouble. Okay. Is it Cauldra? It is Cauldra. That's bad. Well, I think I probably should have gotten Rashad imported, but here we are. So I'll crash in for 3 here. Well, really 6, because this is a double striker. Okay, my opponent is just taking the 6 life chump block. That's fine. Play the Swarm Yard. I'm going to hold the Masked Vandal, I guess. Its 2/2 body isn't super relevant right now. Okay. So that gets evoked. My opponent has to pay 1. And they will pay. I wonder if it was correct for my opponent to... it's probably whatever. Like, my opponent's pretty far ahead now. Alright, you exile, right? Exile target artifact or enchantment. Alright. So I'm gonna have to do some things that feel pretty bad here. I need to get a creature into my grave. Oh, great! My opponent attacked with the Skyclave. Super good for me. Alright. Oh. I could regenerate and keep this alive? No, that's fine. I'll just trade. So now I'll get a critter out of this. Vile is fine, and perhaps not super relevant right now. Let's play this Vandal. I'll exile your Cauldra. Yes. I'll crash in for 2. Alright, good stuff. So now I need to dodge like another Stoneforge or Recruiter or Flicker Wisp. My opponent has one of those things. I'm probably pretty far behind. Sure. We're gonna regenerate target spider. Just feels right, you know? Okay. The opponent knows the City of Brass Rashad and Port trick. Okay, Dragon, Dwarf, Ally, also Dragon. So I can't cast Grist. Need one on Insect. Grist will be very good once I can cast it. Crash in for 2 here. Hope I don't get Batter Scold. Famous last words. Okay. That's fine. So I can chump block with a Masked Vandal to put it into my graveyard. Then I can return it with a Haven of the Spirit Dragon. And then once I get another creature into my graveyard, I can use that to exile the Batterskull, assuming that my opponent taps low on mana. So there's a handful of assumptions built in here. We'll just take the chump. Alright, my opponent does gain 4 there, though. I will take this dragon back to my hand. So I'm going to get this City of Brass tapped down forever, and that's fine. Okay, cool. Now, I will play this on Insect. So let's go black, go green, go some other random color. All I need to do is hit a creature here. If I hit a creature here, it is so fucking filthy. Come on. Come on. Hit a creature. Hot damn. We're winning. We are doing it. My opponent tapped out of the ability to return Batterskull to hand by Rashad porting me. Yeah. Now we're in top deck mode, but I have a Planeswalker that can also murder my opponent's stuff. Life's pretty good. It can swing quickly, but life's pretty good. Alright, yep, do the City of Brass thing. That's totally fine. Is it better to just plus or kill this Stoneforge? I think I'm going to kill the Stoneforge before my opponent draws something like a Flicker Wisp to recycle this. It's bad if they have the Flicker Wisp right here. I'll make my attacks. Play a Vial, and then we'll see if my opponent has a 3-drop creature. Nope. Alright, Vials are at 2 and 3 for my opponent. They have a lot... a lot of instant speed shenanigans that they can do. Oh, why'd you play that? Why'd you let me know the coast was clear? Do not recommend. Yep. Okay, let's go ahead and plus on this Grist. Made a critter. Play a new critter. Bash in for 2. Alright, opponent's at 22. I am probably attacking for 4 than 5 than 6. Maybe a touch more. Alright, my opponent has moved 2 different vials to 3. Okay, it does not matter. What's my record now? Oh, I'm 2 and 1. This is great. Okay, this is awkward. I drew the Platinum Imperium in the opening hand. Means that my Magda is a bit worse. Do I still keep this hand? I think I still keep it because I can use Magda to poop out dwarves, and by that I mean 3/3 double strikers. I think that's okay. Alright. Dwarf! And we'll play the Changeling. So my opponent is more than likely on a controlling deck of some nature. But I don't have exact details. All my stuff's uncounterable right now. I'll play this Aether Vial when I have extra mana, but it doesn't have to be right now. I'll just play Swarm Yard here, because I want to play Magda. It's going to be really bad versus a Terminus this game. But I'm probably going to lean into it. Alright. Seeing some motion from the other side of the battlefield, probably a Swords to Plowshares. On the Magda. I'm going to yield to this, and to this as well. And I think I want the second treasure here, so I'm just going to go ahead and tap this while Magda's still in play. And then I'm okay losing Magda. And this will be counterable, but for card-based reasons, I think I want this out here right now. Yeah, I mean, we got a Jace the Mind Sculptor and a Force of Will for it. That's totally fine. My hand got considerably weaker, though. I'm going to have to keep in mind that my opponent's second card down might be a Terminus. But I don't know how much, like... Oh, fuck me. Okay, game 1 back to basics. That's real bad. Help me, Aether Vial. You're my only hope. Okay, it resolved. Hey kids, you ever seen an Aether Vial at 8? Only half kidding. I'm not sure what exactly I'm supposed to do with this Aether Vial. Like, I know I took it up to 2. But then, like, am I supposed to take it up to 3 afterwards? Because if I take it up to 3, I can't use the green thing to exile the back to basics anymore. Okay, well, now I have another thing to put in. I have a 1, 2, 3 vial curve. Here's to hoping I can just, like, aggro my opponent out. Sure, ponder away. Okay. Our basic land's good. Just curious. I know we don't talk about that much on this channel. Seriously, though, my rainbow lands are doing, like, serious work today in a very impressive way. Alright, that's no shuffle there. Activate this. Yes. Tutor. A prismatic ending that takes out this Aether Vial is also going to be rough, just FYI. I think I'm going to put in Unsettled Mariner in my opponent's draw step. But I'd like to see if they have a Terminus first. This puts them to 13. Let's set that draw step stop. Yeah. Smelled that one coming. Okay, goodbye, changelings. Alright. Okay, yet another basic. I'm gonna go ahead and put in Unsettled Mariner and tick up Aether Vial. I legitimately think I'm going to send Aether Vial to 8. Get in there for 2. Danger, danger, danger. We are not going to have time to take Aether Vial to 8. Well, I guess I can start working this one that direction for in case something gets weird. Since I have the ability to, like, just play a new Aether Vial. Hello, Masked Vandal. Ah. Okay, before playing any spells, I'm going to crash in with both of these just to make sure that my opponent doesn't, like, use a Force of Will or a Spell Pierce or something and then grow their Mentor. Alright, so I'll play this. Actually, maybe this one names Insect. Yeah, this one name Insect. I'll play an Aether Vial. Pass the turn. I can remove the Back to Basics in a couple of turns. Better question is, am I going to die in the meantime? Not immediately. But very bad things can happen this turn. I'll have Masked Vandal off Vial next turn, and I do have a creature in my graveyard in order to activate it. Can I Violent a Grist? Legendary creature? Yeah? I think I can Violent a Grist. That's cool. It hurts my brain a little bit. Okay. Well, that's not great for me. But I think I was supposed to go for it. Like, opponent is at 7. I need to try and take advantage of the things that I've got going on here and press these final points of damage, because this Mentor is going to kill me pretty quickly. Once Back to Basics is gone, I get Swarmyard back, which can let me, like, do some regenerating blocks and stuff, but I don't know that that's really going to be enough to turn the tide of battle. Like, Mentor plus a string of cantrips is just disgustingly good. Oh no, my Violent 5. No. Yep, okay. I think that's probably my demise now. Alright. So, during my opponent's turn, I'll Masked Vandal, destroy Back to Basics. But I don't want to do it sooner, because then they get to untap their Tundra, which I do not want. Okay. Is this... Yikes. Is this the point where I call it good? No, I could still top deck a Dwarvish Recruiter and, like, do the combo thing. That would be the thing that could, like, get me back in this game. Alright, so let's activate this. Yes. Masked Vandal. Get that Back to Basics out of here. Yes. Exile one of these. I think I'm willing to risk a block here. They have another, like, Brainstorm or whatever. It's fine. Okay. So, yes to this. Okay. So, I cast Pyre of Heroes. A 2 mana to activate it, get the Dwarvish Recruiter, stack the top of my deck, Vial in Grist plus Grist, make a billion D creatures and try to kill my opponent. Sounds great, and I can leave up Swarmyard. Actually, Swarmyard doesn't matter. These are going to be insects. Wait, insect? Insect. Come on. Come on. Oh no, don't do it. No! Oh, that's savage. Now I can Grist plus. That doesn't really do anything. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and concede here. And we were so close to pulling that game back out. Do I want Plague Engineer for, like, Monk tokens or anything? I don't know that I actually do. I think I'm just going to, like, board in Steely Resolve and Warping Whale and call that good. I'm not sure exactly what I want to be boarding out. I don't want to cut too many creatures. I'm going to go, like, one Masked Vandal, one of these, one of these. Maybe this doesn't, like, super fit. I don't know, maybe the Pyre of Heroes isn't super great here. Let's try something like this. Okay, so this is turn 2 Mariner into turn 3 Valiant Champion. I ignore counter spells. This is probably fine. Alright, land go. The next turn I have this plus those. That's good. I don't have access to Dwarf mana yet. So let's get that. Hello, I would like to use mana specifically to cast my dwarves and allies. No, it's the same creature. Okay. Terminus is going to be scary. Terminus is going to be really scary. But that might just be one of those things that I have to ignore the existence of. I think that was my opponent fetching to do a Prismatic Vista and then realizing that they couldn't. I'm going to go ahead and attack in first. Because if I was going to play another Unsettled Mariner, it would just... They would like Swords to Plowshares in response and I might miss some damage. So let's cast this. Then we pray to the gods that my opponent does not have Brainstorm Terminus. Okay, it resolved, which actually scares me. Whew. Got lucky. Alright. Now my opponent can't just like Teferi bounce. Man, I hope that second card down isn't Terminus. That would be pretty fucking savage. I'll name Insect with this. Play an Ether Vial. Oh, fuck that. That second card down is totally fucking Terminus. I'm so dead. My opponent goes to 6. Oh, shit, it's not Terminus. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, they have the Swords to Plowshares, so they're only going to take 3 next turn. Yep. So they'll need another removal spell. Get in there, friends. Opponent is at 3. Alright, more land. Plenty of things that kill my stuff here. So that'll be a 3-mana Prismatic Ending because of the Mariner. Now, I guess I do this pre-combat. The reason is specifically so that I can make this fly if my opponent plays a Ambush Viper Snapcaster Mage. Alright, they're at 2. The tension builds. Alright. Yeah. Okay. How do I attack? How do I attack? I can just take the guaranteed 1 in the air and put my opponent to 1. Or I can attack with both. Attacking with both is so bad if they have a piece of interaction. I think I'm just going to take the guaranteed 1. Let's fly. Alright, you're at 1. Fetching is no longer allowed. Alright. Removal spells are very good for my opponent here. They have Swords to Plowshares and prismatic endings that they can hit. And they have more cantrips to get to those. Teferi also works right now, but might not work if my opponent plays a few more spells. Okay, what happened with this Ponder? That was no shuffle. Ah, shit. Found it. So I lose my Changeling. My opponent has a Mentor and multiple tokens, so I'm not getting through easily on the ground. Okay, I mean, that's very good. But my opponent is going to have time now. I think I can't attack here. I think I just need to wait until I find a blue-producing land, play this, and try to get in for the final point of damage. Okay. That's not super scary. Because, like, my opponent will kill me before an Ether Vial or a Pyre would be relevant. I'll just take all that. No. My opponent's top decks are so much better than mine right now. Yep. That's fine. Okay. Name Insect. I'll play my Changeling. Oh! Everything is awful. I was the chosen one. Back to basics is rough here. Like, without the back to basics, like, I have Grist plus Dwarven Recruiter combo. That finishes my opponent off. Yikes. I'm somewhat likely dead this turn. Alright, I'm gonna take all this damage here, assuming it doesn't kill me. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It does kill me. I can't think of any outs off one land here. I'm just gonna go ahead and concede. We'll see if my opponent can just kill me now, though. Right, they destroy their own Null Rod to kill me. I respect the hell out of that. GG's. We're now 2-2. So I've got my hand for the final round, and my opponent is mulliganing to 4, which is probably not great for me. But my hand is quite good. Forest? Oh, wow. So they're playing Enchantress, and they just went real deep. That's actually pretty good for me. Okay. So we'll go this ally encampment this turn into Ether Vial. And then next turn we have Changeling and Magda. And then I will do Shenanigans as well. Alright. The opponent did draw an Enchantress's Presence. Also, how fucking crazy is it to face Enchantress twice in one league? That is not common. This one is for allies, right? Oh. Oh no, I can do stuff. So I guess my order of operations is this for red, tap this, yes, play Changeling, make mana, and then I'll tap this again, and then I'll play this, sacrificing my 2 treasures, then I tap this, then I play another critter. Where's my storm counter at? When does the storm counter start appearing? Storm will be 4 this turn in my tribal deck. Pretty dope. One last critter. For the road. And then next turn, I get to make an 8/8. Sick! Also, is my opponent dead next turn? 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16? I don't think the suppression field actually matters here. Also, lull on their sequencing. Alright. Send all of this in. Get a whole bunch of treasure. Alright, sick. So last time against Enchantress, I think I boarded in Steely Resolves and Aethersworn Canonists. I don't want to cut Pyres. I probably cut Realmwalker. Did I junk Recruiters? Or maybe do something like this. Could see something like this. Like, I want to leave a Dwarven Recruiter for the Pyre to get that combo backdoor. But I think a lot of times I just win via aggressive elements. This is fine. I'm also much less scared of this opponent than I was Spatula of the Ages. Spatula is like an Enchantress MVP. This hand goes back. This hand is good. I probably just get rid of my Ether Vial here. And just keep my mana sources. Alright. So we'll probably see a mana accelerator of some kind here. Yep. Alright, Ether Vial came back. Do I want to play Ether Vial? I'll be slower at doing a lot of things. But it's probably fine. Like, Ether Vial was the most expendable card in my opening hand very easily. But, like, if I'm just gonna, like, top deck another one, I guess it's fine. It'll make me a couple mana over a few turns. Alright. Never mind, Ether Vial. You became incredibly awkward. Ooh, Steely Resolve. Just play that before I play out any creatures? Probably. So let's go green, colorless for Steely Resolve, and we'll name Dwarf. And in case you're not familiar with how this works, Reflecting Pool is able to make just 5 regular colors of mana because it cares about the colors that you can make, not necessarily the restrictions that come with those colors. Alright, my opponent does not have an Enchantress effect currently. So they are not going as fast as they need to here. Let's play this. And then I'm going to go ahead and floop this into play. And these are both dwarves, so they have Shroud. Then next turn I'll play Magda, which will let me crash in for half of my opponent's life total. And then I'll kill my opponent the following turn. I could still have to worry about cast out here. Things can happen. Cool. There's Magda. Me and the Shroudy boys getting into the red zone. Just like the good old days. Okay. Okay, looks like this damage is just working. I think I'm just going to play a second Steely Resolve over playing Unsettled Mariner. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay. Yeah, so cast out removes the first Steely Resolve, which is why I'm playing the second one. I renamed Dwarf. Nice. It should now be pretty darn difficult for my opponent to not just lose here. We got the Brew trophy. We got the 3-2 with our Shifty Dwarves. overall thoughts on the deck list? Like, surprisingly good. Like, we beat multiple tiered decks here, which is surprising. And the losses were hard fought losses, not just us getting absolutely bowled over. There are so many, like, there's 4 distinct different lines of attack with this deck, and they overlap slightly in cards. This is a well-built brew. I'm sure there's still tuning to be done in terms of the mana base and especially the sideboard, but the core of this deck is pretty good. I am probably least impressed by the Realm Walker. I think if I was going to make one change to the deck, I would probably junk this card. If I was going to make a second change, I would probably only play one Masked Vandal in the main deck. It's fine. It does stuff, but I think that's the sort of thing I want to have access to via like Pyre of Heroes rather than like I need to naturally draw at most games. I might want to either play one more Dwarven Recruiter and one more Grist, or play a second large artifact that I can tutor for on the off chance that I draw the Platinum Empyrean. I think those would be the sorts of things that I would be thinking about changing from the main deck. As far as the sideboard goes, Steely Resolve was fucking awesome. That card was exactly what we needed. It invalidated so many potential removal spells, and was definitely matchup warping. I'm glad I added those in. That was great tech. There might be better options than Steely Resolve. That was just kind of the first thing that came to mind to me when I was tinkering this, because like a couple of crazy people have submitted Steely Resolve in other deck lists before. And in fact, it was also submitted in the other Dwarf Recruiter list that I think Sean D donated for as well. So like there's creatures that do similar things like Crystalline Sliver. So you might be able to like shop around for something like this effect. But I would be in the market for something like that. Yeah, otherwise I'd like 2 thumbs up. This one was a great combination of fun and competitive. And hey, doesn't even use any dual lands, like real dual lands. So maybe we can call this one a budget deck. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, click the like button. It's the easiest way to support me. If you're new here, consider subscribing for fun content like this 5 days a week. And if you want to try this one out or get one of your own decks in the queue, that information is available in the video description. Have a great rest of the day.